I'm Daniel Gross, and this is The Number. The number today is 5. That's the number of magazines that my guest Kate White has been the editor of. It could also have been 8, which is the number of mysteries you've written, or 3, the number of career advice books, which brings you here today. Kate's most recent book is I Shouldn't Be Telling You This, Success Secrets Every Gutsy Girl Should Know. Thanks so much for joining us today.
Thank you, Dan. I was wondering what my number would be.
Now, we seem to be at something of a crossroads of women in the workplace. We have CEOs of IBM, Kraft, Pepsi, Facebook, and yet all this talk about how women can't have it all. Where do you stand on this?
You know, just this week there was a photograph of the Oval Office one night with Obama and his senior people. It was like 8 guys. And you just look at that picture and you think, wow, we still have a ways to go. And I do think women have made incredible inroads, but there is still an issue getting into certain top fields and at the higher echelon. And also, just as Ms. Slaughter pointed out in the Atlantic piece, you know, so many workplaces don't really accommodate the working parent very well. And so I kept thinking when I saw the Oval Office, I wonder if, you know, the moms had to go home. Now,
you talk a lot in your book about the need to kind of go big, wanting to stand out, going for what you want very aggressively, and this is advice particularly for young people, but without arousing the sort of envy, ire, anger, begging for a smackdown. What are some sort of good points for navigating that tightrope?
Well, I think stop worrying about what your peers think. You don't worry about a smackdown from them. What you really want to do is make your boss think that you're not just doing your job well, you're going bigger than that, because that's how you stand out from the pack. So you figure out something in your workplace that no one's doing that you can fix or solve, a new way to make money or save money, taking away something from the boss, because it's the boss. Good bosses really love it when you go big, and sometimes even break the rules a little bit if it pays off for the boss.
Right. Now, people at every level are advised to find a mentor, and big companies have all these mentorship programs. You say it doesn't matter so much, especially for women, that they should be thinking about sponsors. What's the difference, and why does that not work for women so much?
Well, women know to look for a mentor, or that they need a mentor, but sometimes they're too passive about it. And first and foremost, whoever's going to help you, you may have to really adopt that person and take them on, because they're not going to find you. But mentors tend to be good at giving you advice. Sponsors open doors. So what you really want is someone who's going to be willing to make an introduction to someone who's going to help you get a job or get promoted. So you don't want to just look for advice. You want to look for those door openers, and you have to ask them to open the door too.
Right. Now, obviously, the insights in this book are intended for any type of economy, good, bad, tight labor market. Young people today are facing a particularly tough job market. And when you have these conversations with people coming right out of college, there's sort of level of fear and anxiety about finding a job. What are some particular points of advice you have for kind of getting into the workforce at a time when unemployment is high, when employers seem to be calling all the shots, and when there's a huge amount of competition?
I know, I feel so bad today for anyone young that I meet, but I think you have to think of your job search as more of a job campaign today. You really need to do a spreadsheet on your computer and look at every possible opportunity you can pursue. You've got to forget some of those traditional approaches like sending out your resumes. You've got to use LinkedIn as a fabulous tool, and create your own LinkedIn universe among everyone you know, your parents' friend. Every young person I ask who has a great job, any place tells me they got it through someone they know.
Right. Now, another thing that sort of human resource people will tell you is you have to have a plan for your career, where you want to be in 5 years. I think particularly for people like ourselves who work in the media, we all work in industries that didn't exist when we came out of college, that didn't exist 5 years ago. Do you just toss that out the window and kind of just go with whatever opportunity pops up, or?
I think serendipity today is more important than ever. I say don't have the 5-year plan. Like, how would we know blogging would have ever existed at one point in time? So I say stay light on your feet, know the things that thrill you and excite you, but be ready to pivot, be ready to let serendipity send you in a new direction if necessary.
Now, you have a lot of sort of style pointers, and this is not my forte, but
oh, come on.
One struck me as a little strange. Do not wear a puffer coat to work in the winter. That was going to be my big fashion statement for December and January.
Oh my
What's
God.
wrong with the puffer? Why shouldn't we be warm in the
Well,
winter?
certainly if you're working for Apple, you can wear a puffer coat. You probably don't need it out there, though. You just need a double hoodie some days, perhaps. But I just think style does matter in certain fields. And even though sometimes people don't articulate, maybe your boss doesn't, they react to someone coming in looking polished, and a puffer coat can make you look like the Michelin tire man, unfortunately.
Duly noted. Well, the book is I Shouldn't Be Telling You This, Success Secrets Every Gutsy Girl Should Know. The publisher, HarperCollins, Harper Business.
Yep.
Kate White is the author. If you send an email to business@newsweekdailybeast.com, we will be giving away a free copy. Kate, thanks so much for joining us.
Thanks, Dan.
I'm Dan Gross. This has been The Number.